Okay, this is after the fact, but put plugs and wires in this '03 LeSabre yesterday, and there are several things written online about how difficult it is to get the plug wires off of the plugs in the back. That was my experience, and I managed to do it, so this is just maybe some information to throw out there. Maybe it'll be the little piece you need to help you do it. I'm not going to say it's easy by any means, but it's doable. But anyway, struggling with it, climbing up on top, reaching all around. On this Series 2 in the Buick, they just didn't leave you a whole bunch of room in the back. So you got to get creative. Mostly you just got to climb up on top. Be careful of that fuel connection there. I actually bumped that and it leaked, but it's making a seal now, so I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, struggled with it. You got to pull. It's like you got to pull from the side, and that's just not where you got a lot of muscles. At least I don't. There's another video online where a guy did it, and part of the title of his video is S words, and I can certainly identify with that. But he got it off by hand. I ended up having to use some tools because I wasn't strong enough. My son tried it. He's stronger than I am. He couldn't do it either. So this car is 20 years old and it still had the original plugs and wires, so they were pretty well stuck. I did find some information where people were using these type of tools, and I thought that sounded like a good idea, so I went to Harbor Freight and got this set. It was $15. This is December 2023, so maybe you can find them on sale, or maybe they're going to go up by the time you see it, but not bad for 3 tools, and they do seem to be pretty sturdy. Didn't get much flux out of it at all. Seemed pretty good. And then also I already had this long 11-inch just needle nose pliers, and they came in handy too. So there's all the old wires and old plugs. Put iridium plugs in there and factory wires, which were a little bit longer, so that gave me some flexibility on where to run them. And what I did was, taking these, went back through the back of the engine, had to climb up on top of it, like the guy did in the other video, and then you just look for some place to get some leverage. Try not to pry on the valve cover because that's not metal, and you want to protect it a little bit. But anyway, they still came out. Not going to say it was easy. It wasn't. I've got the scars on my hands and arms to prove it. I left some blood in the car. This little wire loom back here is attached to a bracket, and to get the number 2 spark plug wire off, I had to get that off of that bracket, and I ended up just breaking it off. But you know, you can probably reach behind it and release it, do it the right way. Anyway, that gave me room for, on number 2, I was able to reach down just barely with the needle nose pliers, not the ones that had the hose end on them for pulling hoses, is what Harbor Freight describes it as. But anyway, just barely got it on there, and reaching around from the top with that, and on the side with my fingers, I was finally able to pop that one off. That was the last one. The front ones, no problem. They give you lots of room for that. Just a regular spark plug puller tool will work on that, spark plug wire puller tool. Once you get the wires off, everything's pretty easy. The spark plugs are easy to get to, no big deal on that. This little piece that routes the wires, you don't need to take that off. You can, there's a couple clips underneath, but you don't have to take it off. You can just feel here where the wires go and they route around. And you can see they're sticking out a little bit because the replacements were, you know, an inch or so longer than the originals, but that's okay. I'd rather have them too long than too short, and they're plenty okay. I did replace the transmission mount during this process, so that was out. That let the engine fall forward less than half an inch, so I don't think that made any difference. It probably gave me just a little bit more room, but I can't say it really made a difference. Anyway, that's what it took. These were the game changer on it. I don't think I could have done it without these, or I would have struggled a whole lot longer, or had to get my daughter, who's stronger than me and my son. So maybe she could have done it. But anyway, they're in. Put some dielectric grease on the spark plugs, so hopefully they'll come out easier next time, you know, in 100,000 miles or whenever those iridiums wear out. Just wanted to post this real quick, and maybe it'll give you the little piece of information you need to help you do it. Don't give up. They will come off. Just be patient. Try not to use too many S words, and take a deep breath. Just don't be in a hurry, because if they fight you, it's going to take a while. I hope yours just slide right off with no trouble at all. But if they're fighting you, then maybe try this. Have a good day. Bye-bye.